How to live stream on TikTok using OBS Studio. This video will cover one of the many methods of doing so. The biggest advantage with this method is that you don't need a stream key. So here we are in OBS Studio, and let's say that this is your gameplay scene. You have your camera, your gameplay, all your stuff is already set. Maybe you even have like a fancy transition, all right? And you just want to bring this into TikTok with this format. Okay, so what you want to do now is go to your controls here and go to Start Virtual Camera. You want to click on that and it's going to turn red. What that does is create a new virtual camera, basically another video capture device that anything can pick up. So now we're going to go and open up TikTok Live Studio. If you don't have it yet, just Google it, download it, log in with your account. There it is. If you're not logged in yet, or if you don't even have access to Live, this is where it will give you those options. I already have access, so I'm just going to click Go Live, and it's going to open up the studio. I'm going to go top left and set this to landscape because that's what we're checking out right now. I'm going to show you portrait mode a little bit later. And personally, what I would do is create a brand new scene. So I can go to my scenes list, click on the little plus to add a new scene, then scroll down and click on blink, click add. And you can see here I have the option to add a camera. If you don't see this, you can go here and click add source and then select camera. Click add. And under camera, you want to select OBS virtual camera. There it is. Click add source. Now it'll format it automatically for you. You can right click on it, go to full screen, and click fit to screen. And there you have it. So right now, this is just OBS Studio. So from TikTok Live, all you have to do is go live and then control the rest of the stream directly in OBS Studio. So if I switch scenes, for example, I go to my gameplay scene and I minimize this to go back to TikTok, you'll see it's here. For some reason it's flipped, but that's fine. I can go here and just flip it again. And there you have it. Now don't worry about the black bars. It's basically showing you what will be visible on mobile versus people watching it in landscape. So, for convenience, you would probably want to move your camera. I'm doing this off screen in OBS Studio, and you can see everything gets translated into TikTok Live Studio perfectly. Now, of course, from there, you can have TikTok's basic alerts and things like that, all the bells and whistles that TikTok Live Studio provides, or you can use Tikfinity and have those browser sources in OBS Studio and manage them all there so that you don't touch this software at all. Okay, so that's all great for this format. Let's say you want to stream in portrait mode. As you can see, you can use this, but the problem is that your canvas is 1080p. So if you want, you can just have a normal stream like this. But let's say that you would want to have like a whole portrait format. There are two ways that you can make that happen. The easiest way, if you're only going to stream on TikTok, I advise you doing this, or if you're only going to stream portrait in general, would be to go to your settings, to video, and then under base resolution right now, it's not going to let you do it if you have the virtual camera on. You need to turn that off. You need to put that to 1080 by 1920, 9 by 16 aspect ratio portrait. And then your whole canvas in OBS Studio would become in portrait mode. Then with the virtual camera, you would have to go back and refresh it basically. And then it would be portrait, right? But if you use OBS Studio to do other stuff, maybe you don't want to ruin your main OBS Studio, or maybe you want to multi-stream, for example, and keep your main canvas. This is where a plugin like Aitum's Stream Suite or Aitum Vertical would probably help you. I have the Stream Suite installed, and what it gives me is basically a vertical canvas. You can see it here. That's still in OBS Studio, and I can adjust it. I can link it to my normal OBS, or I can just play around with it and do my own stuff just for the vertical. For example, here I can uncrop this and just put that up. And then for the gameplay, I can center it a little bit better, drop it in there. So it's basically another canvas in OBS Studio that works exactly like OBS Studio, but it's vertical. I have multiple videos on it. Make sure you watch those. I'm gonna make sure I move my camera so we can have more of the gameplay here. I'm gonna stop my virtual camera for now. And I'm going to go to outputs. So outputs is one of the docs that you're going to get with the streaming suite. And by the way, if you install the streaming suite, then it kind of messes up all of your OBS settings, all of your layout, for example. What you can do is just go to appearance and then select the right theme. You see that? I have Yami, and that's my normal theme. And then I have the Aitum one. So if it automatically changes your theme, just go put it back and then set this to compact or classic or whatever you want. So now I need a doc called outputs. I already have it in there, but If you don't see it, it is right here, outputs, and I placed it right there. And I can click on the cogwheel to kind of better show you everything I have. And you'll see this is the Aitum Stream Suite settings, and under outputs, so I have general, I have canvas. As you can see, I have my main canvas, and of course I have my Aitum vertical canvas. And I have the size here, then I have outputs, and this is where you can basically decide how many outputs you want. Do you want like a vertical stream? Do you want vertical backtrack, which is basically replay buffer? Do you want vertical recording, which I have here? And this is all great, but I want a virtual camera just for the vertical. So I'm going to click add output. I'm going to select a virtual camera. I can call it Aitum virtual camera. Click OK. And then under canvas, I can select Aitum vertical. So now I just created an extra output that will be in my list. And all I have to do is click on this. Sometimes you need to reload OBS. You need to restart it. But I'll click once here and it seems to work. So now we are broadcasting a vertical virtual camera that we can just go on TikTok. And you can see like, well, it completely changed it because the settings are not the same. So let's go back to the cogwheel here. And under resolution, we can select the right one. And would you look at that? Would you look at that? And just like that, I'll just place this by dragging and dropping. You have your vertical stream controlled completely in OBS Studio, which means that everything that you can do with OBS Studio, you can do it in here. You can either link it to scenes that you already have. For example, if I go to full screen, you'll see that this isn't perfect, but you'll see that my scenes here are linked, right? So if I'm streaming on the main canvas, I need those to be linked, but I also have scenes that have nothing to do with the main canvas, right? So you decide how it's gonna be. So if I want to use something like an overlay, I can just go and add an image source, new image here, click browse. Now I recently made an overlay for this, vertical overlay, and we'll select a green one. Just like that, I have an overlay, click OK, and I can adapt everything else to fit said overlay. Okay, I have my gameplay. I can make it way smaller now, make sure it completely fits. Now this is cloned, it has my camera, but it doesn't have to be. Like you can totally just put the gameplay in there. Nice, and you can see I'm controlling everything through OBS Studio. You can have custom stinger transition in the vertical. Everything that OBS does, you can see it right here, except this is all OBS. All right? Now there's a mild inconvenience with this whole method. TikTok Live Studio does not give you access to virtual cameras right off the bat. If it's your first time live streaming with TikTok Live Studio or you haven't streamed in a while, they're actually going to ask you to stream for 3 days using Live Studio for at least 25 minutes each. Okay, so I had to do that to unlock the ability to just select OBS virtual camera, which is silly to me, but also it's not that huge of a deal. At least it gets you basically used to TikTok Live Studio. If it's your first time using Live Studio, I have videos on that, on how to use it too. Go check them out on my channel. But yeah, in order to be able to select OBS virtual camera, you need to live stream 3 times on 3 separate days and for streams that are 25 minutes minimum. And that's pretty much it. It's been a while since I made a how to use TikTok Live Studio video. I might make one very soon. If you're new here, make sure you subscribe so you don't miss it. Follow me on TikTok, actually, at Gael Level. And I'll see you next time. Bye-bye.